Let us inspire one another in the examples of the McDermott family through dedication, leadership, and ethical behavior. Let the Omaha community continue to witness the mission of Creighton University through its students actively and joyfully changing the world for the better. For this we say, amen. It is with profound appreciation that I thank the Scotts for their generosity and heartily accept their request to rename the Championship Center the McDermott Center. I congratulate Coach McDermott and Teresa, Nick, Doug, and Sydney on this really great honor. And it's now my pleasure to invite Coach Greg McDermott up to the podium. Thank you, everyone.
Father's notes are much more organized than mine are, I can see. Good afternoon, and thank you all for coming. Obviously, this is an incredible feeling to stand in front of you today and be honored in this way. My family's here today, my wife Teresa, Nick, Doug, Sydney, Sydney's significant other, Creighton, and Doug's significant other, Anna. So I'm glad that they're here with us today. I was walking in with Sydney, and she asked me what I was going to talk about. And I said, I'm not really sure. And she said, well, whatever you do, don't be too charming, don't be too witty or intellectual. She said, just be yourself. So she knows me best. But I have a lot of thank yous. I've been here starting my 15th year. Father Schlegel was the president. I remember interviewing in his office when I came to campus 14 years ago and appreciated his leadership and his belief in me. And then Father Lannon replaced him and obviously was a huge advocate for athletics and helped foster our move to the Big East. And then Father Hendrickson's leadership since he took over for Father Lannon has been incredible and has allowed us to continue to move our program and our athletic department forward. I'd like to thank Marcus and his staff, and then Bruce Rasmussen and his staff, and also like to thank Bruce for giving me this opportunity 14 plus years ago. I'm thankful to this day that he just watched my games at Northern Iowa and didn't pay any attention to what was going on when I was at Iowa State, and still thought I was the right guy for the job. But it's the 14 years has flown by, and it's flown by in large part because of the people here in Omaha. I have a lot of thank yous. Certainly to my family, they've allowed me to chase a dream of being a college basketball coach. And obviously with that comes some difficult and challenging times that you have to navigate through, a lot of moves over the course of our lifetime. But also they're there to celebrate the great times, and the first ones to celebrate when things have gone well. And I certainly would not have had the opportunity to move forward in this profession without the support of Teresa, Nick, Sid, and Doug. So thank you guys very much. I know it's been talked about previously by Marcus and Father, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Doug's career in a Blue Jay uniform. And a big reason that I'm standing up here is because of what he was able to accomplish as a student athlete. He and his teammates went 14-4 that first year in the Big East. We were a number 3 seed in the NCAA tournament, which was the highest in school history, and we finally matched that this past season 10 years later. And that group really blazed the trail for teams to follow in terms of how to be successful in this league when we made really an overnight move from the Missouri Valley Conference to the Big East. He was a three-time All-American, National Player of the Year, and as Marcus mentioned, Creighton became a national name in men's college basketball due to his success, and also the humble approach to the accolades that came his way. I couldn't be more proud of how he continues to represent Creighton University, the Omaha community, and our family in such a positive way during his recently completed 10th year in the NBA. So thank you, Doug. My job is a job that's very dependent on other people, and I rely on the hard work, dedication, and support of many people to have a chance to be successful. starting with my current players, who are, most of them are here today, and appreciate you guys being here. And then my former players as well. I see Austin Chapman standing over there. But I couldn't do what I do without quality, outstanding young student athletes who have grown into successful businessmen, fathers, and husbands. All of the assistant coaches, current and past, and support staff that have worked alongside me for the last 14 years. And of course you, our loyal boosters that continue to support us with your time and resources. And most importantly, I sincerely appreciate that you just continue to show up. I remember back, and I tell this story all the time in recruiting, the year after Doug and Johans and Grant and Ethan graduated, we got off to a rough start. Austin was our starting point guard that year. We started 0-8 in the Big East. And we came home for a Tuesday night game against Butler. I think it was an 8:15 start, and there were 18,100 people at that game. And I still get goosebumps just thinking about that night, because everyone understood how hard these guys were playing. We had a lot of near misses. They were playing their hearts out, and you showed up and showed your appreciation for how they represented themselves and our athletic department on a nightly basis. And I think that speaks volumes of what this community is all about. And now let's talk about this beautiful building. It's really hard to believe, as you know, Doug and Austin got to practice in here one year, but Doug just got to watch it be built from across the street, and he was really thrilled with that as he walked up the spiral staircase to practice at the old gym. But this was a pipe dream 12 years ago, and it was Bruce Rasmussen's vision, not only to build a practice facility, but to build a state-of-the-art practice facility. And Bruce worked incredibly hard to make sure that we were going to have a building that was going to allow us to be successful long term. And at the time we started the fundraising and the planning for this building, the Big East wasn't even in the back of our mind. We were going to try to be as successful as a mid-major program as we possibly could be, and we felt like this building would take us there. And as I think back, and as I was reflecting the last couple days, I'd hate to think where we would be without this building. Would we be in the Big East when they took a hard look into adding 3 schools? Would Creighton have been one of them had we not had plans to open this wonderful facility? Would we have the NCAA tournament success that we've been able to achieve the last 15 years without a training facility for our players to use? Would Justin Patton, Kyrie Thomas, Marcus Zagorowski, Tyshawn Alexander, guys that were either drafted or played in the NBA, would have they been able to develop their games, or would have they even been here had we not had this practice facility? We hope to hear Baylor and Trey's name called this coming week. And again, would it be possible at all without this facility? There's a sign right behind me that says "Culture Wins." And we've been able to build and maintain a championship center, or a championship culture, because we have a place that we can call home. And the amount of time that our teams have spent here together is the reason that our culture is so strong. And the fact that we have a beautiful place to call home is a big reason we've been able to do that. So how did it all happen? And as Father mentioned, it happened because of the support of countless people in our community, over 500 donors, many of you that are here today. But especially because of the kindness of Bill and Ruth Scott and their sons, John, Don, and David. Ruth is here today with her son, John, John's wife, Diane, and their daughter-in-law, Stephanie. Unfortunately, we lost Bill in February, and I have so many wonderful memories of Bill. We took many trips to Sutton Bay to play golf with a group of guys. And the minute Bill got on the plane, he started talking about the walleye fingers and make sure that that first order was put in front of him. It usually didn't venture very far from in front of his plate. He was pretty proud of them and kept pretty close eye on them to make sure nobody else grabbed him. Then he would proceed to win 80% of the skins on the golf course because he never really missed a putt that mattered. I always enjoyed visiting with Bill and Ruth at our volleyball matches. They were huge fans of Kirsten and the volleyball team, sat right in the front row. I learned quickly that I needed to visit during the intermission because Bill really wanted me to get the hell out of there once the match started again so he could watch the girls play. Ruth, I would like to thank you and Bill and your entire family for making a lasting impact on Creighton athletics. As the lead donors for this building, the Rasmussen Center, and the Ruth, and a little backstory, and Ruth shared it again with me today, the volleyball players got to name that building, and they chose to name it the Ruth for a good reason. Had the basketball players got to choose what this was going to be named, it would be called the Bill. But the Bill was not going to have anything to do with that, so here we are today. But you've created fitness and training opportunities for massive numbers of students and student athletes. The far-reaching benefits of your generosity is so incredible, it's impossible to measure. Our goal in the athletic department never changes. We strive to recruit, retain, and graduate outstanding student athletes. The facilities that the Scott family has supported have allowed our department to do just that and have championship-level programs at the same time. Ruth, my family and I are truly honored and humbled by the recognition bestowed on us today by your incredible family. Every day moving forward as I enter the McDermott Center, I will think of you and Bill and the spectacular impact your friendship has had on me. We are forever grateful for your generosity. Thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts.